However, let no one be too proud, since everyone, even the greatest genius, is unquestionably limited in some sphere of knowledge, and thereby proclaims his relationship with the essentially perverted and absurd human race. Each one bears something morally bad within him, and even the best, the noblest character, will surprise us at times by individual traits of badness, in order, as it were, to indicate its kinship with that human race in which every degree of unworthiness and cruelty occurs. For precisely owing to this bad within him, this evil principle, he was compelled to become a man, and for this same reason, the world is exactly that which my true mirror of it has shown it to be. In spite of all, however, the differences between men remain incalculably great, and many a one would be shocked if he saw another as he himself is. Oh, for an Asmodeus of morality, who not alone made roofs and walls transparent to his favoured one, but the veil of the presentment spread out over all falseness, hypocrisy, double-facedness, lying and deception, and who would not let him see how little true honesty is to be found in the world, and how often, even where one least expects it, behind all the virtuous outworks, secretly and in the innermost recess, unrighteousness sits at the helm. Hence come the four-footed friendships of so many of the better kind of men, for on what indeed should one refresh oneself from the endless deceit, falseness, and cunning of men, if it were not for the dogs into whose faithful countenance one may look without distrust? Our civilized world is then only a great masquerade. One meets there knights, parsons, soldiers, doctors, advocates, priests, philosophers, and what not. But they are not what they represent themselves. They are mere masks, under which are hidden as a rule money-makers. One will assume the mask of justice which he has borrowed from his advocate, merely in order to crush another. A second, with the same object, chooses the mark of public weal and patriotism, a third that of religion, of purity, of faith. Many a one has for a variety of purposes donned the mask of philosophy, of philanthropy, etc. Women have less choice. They mostly employ the mask of purity, of bashfulness, domesticity and modesty. There are, moreover, universal masks with no special character, as it were, the dominoes that one meets with everywhere. To this character belong strict integrity, politeness, disinterested sympathy, and grinning friendship. Manufacturers, commercial men, and speculators only are, for the most part, hidden behind all these masks. In this respect, the merchants constitute the only honourable class, for they alone admit themselves to be what they are. They go about unmasked, and therefore stand low in rank. It is very important to be taught early in youth that one is living in a masquerade, for otherwise many things will not be understood. One will stand before them puzzled. The longest, and especially he, whose heart Titan has fashioned out of better clay. Such is the favour which baseness finds, the neglect which merit, even the rarest and the greatest, suffers from the men of its department, the detestation of the truth, and of great capacities, the ignorance of the learned in their own branch, that genuine wares are almost always despised, and the merely apparent sought after. The youth should therefore be taught that in this masquerade the apples are of wax, the flowers of silk, the fish of paste, and all is trifling and jesting, and that of those yonder whom he sees so earnestly engaged with each other, the one gives nothing but false wares, and the other pays for them with counters. But more serious considerations are to be brought forward, and worse things told. Man is at bottom a wild, horrible creature. We know him merely as broken in and tamed by what we call civilization, and hence the occasional outbreaks of his nature shock us. But where and when the padlock and chain of legal order fall off and anarchy enters, then he shows himself what he is. He who in the meantime, without this opportunity, would like to inform himself thereupon, can acquire the conviction from hundreds of ancient and modern narratives that man yields in cruelty and pitilessness to no tiger and to no hyena.